Well, after our heartbreaker of a win against Man City in the Champions League group stage, we finished in third place. And for the life of me, I spent probably 15 minutes looking through the rules on Football Manager about whether or not we qualified for the Europa League. And because I couldn't find anything, I came to the assumption that we weren't in the Europa League. I thought maybe the rules had changed about that, and I couldn't find anything that said otherwise. So I ended the episode, fired up the game the next day, and lo and behold, we qualified for the Europa League. We're in the first knockout round leg. And we're playing a French team, Nantes, I want to say. So right now it is close to the end of January. The transfer window is still underway. We've brought in a couple of players. We let go of a couple of players. But overall, I think we've made the team a little better. And on a somewhat happy side note, because of international play, one of my youth players has had to step up. And he's doing a really good job. My name's FM20, and it's time to get real. I need to move over to the left here. So, we haven't been all that active on the transfer windows. There just hasn't been anybody out there I'm willing to pay money for that's going to appreciably improve the squad and cause me to bench one of the players I already have, if that makes sense. The one player we have let go is Benjamin Andrich. He wasn't getting any playing time. The playing time he was getting, he wasn't really contributing. I think last year was just kind of a confluence of events for him. Smokovic was injured. I needed a striker. He was my backup striker. He stepped in. He was kind of an unknown quality, and he got all the opportunities, and he made the most of them. He's a solid player. He's 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability, 22 years old. I mean, he's a role player, and he's a good role player. It's just that his role has already been filled by someone else on our squad, Predrag Smokovic. So the one season we did have him, he had 30 starts, 10 goals, 6 assists, 5 players in the match. And to be fair, like 8 of those goals came in 2 games, I want to say. So this season he had 7 starts and 1 goal, and he's moved to Metz, and he's had 1 goal and 2 appearances there. For a guy we brought in on a free, and then we turned around and sold him for 4.8 million euros, that's not a bad deal. You know, and frankly, this season here is one of the seasons that put him on the map, and a big reason why he got 4.8 million euros. How much is he earning now? Let me check that out real quick. 9,500 euros a week. That's not bad. You can live on that. On the ends, we brought in Joubert at the end of the other transfer window. Marcelo Dianet, who we actually picked up in October from Hajduk Split, was transfer listed. 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, 22 years old, midfielder. Also plays a really good defensive midfielder. I brought him in because Majashak is getting older. And Majashak is slowing down. He's not exactly falling off the proverbial cliff, but he's not the player he was before the leg injury last season. Dianet plays a really good defensive midfielder and a really good. He's a defensive midfielder and a midfielder equally. And he's really good at almost all the positions. The only thing I screwed up on was probably signing him to a star player contract. But for a player that is this good, and we're getting for probably 13.5 million euros when all is said and done, a lot of his money is based on appearance fees, including international appearance fees. As I'm clicking on the wrong thing all over again, we brought him in for 8.5, going up to 13.5. So, I mean, there's a good chance we're going to end up paying most of that, but he's going to be a solid contributor on the midfield line. I'm not going to complain about that in the least. So what I am going to complain about is, you know, okay, you go to Champions League. You go to rules. You go to group stage. There's nothing in here about third place going down to Europa League. You know, you got your sorting rules. You got this. Top 2 teams qualify for the knockout round. Nothing about the Europa League. You scroll down a little further. Registration rules, financial rules, miscellaneous rules. Nothing about Europa League. If you go to the Europa League and you go to the rules here, and like say you go to the first knockout round, Well, first knockout round, 16 teams. Doesn't tell you where the teams come from. The only way you know that is you've got your group stage here. Your number of teams is 32. First knockout round, second knockout round. So you've got, what is it, 8 times 4? I mean, is it coming in from the second knockout round? I'm not seeing anything here that says, oh yeah, teams coming in third place come down to the knockout round. I thought for sure we were out of European football because I couldn't find anything to tell me in the rules that we were still in European football. But if you go to the schedule and literally like 4 game days in, it popped up and said, hey, the first knockout round leg draw, or the first knockout round draw has occurred and you're playing Nantes in February. So they're a good squad. The past couple seasons in Football Manager, Nantes has always become a really good squad in Ligue 1. They never really get up to PSG levels, but they reach a point where they spend money like PSG, but they do it smarter. They don't go out and buy 150 million euros of players one year, then turn around and sell them for 75 million euros the next year. They go out and they buy 75 million euros for players, and then 2 years later turn around and sell them off for 150 million euros. They have a really good youth system that really helped them out. That helps them out. They've got a solid squad. They're going to be they're going to be tough to get by. So we last played Man City. We were away at Athletic Club and we drew that game 1-1. Guillaume Lemaitre had a goal in the 18th minute. We had a friendly against Mallorca just to keep the guys healthy, and then came I don't know what to call this. It's not exactly murderer's row, but it was a bunch of tough teams. Didn't help that we played Barcelona back-to-back. First in La Liga, where we drew with them 2-0, thanks to goals by Alonso and Magicek. And then in the Supercopa semifinal, we beat them 4-1. They played a fairly rotated side. We played a fairly rotated side. We were both tired, and for whatever reason, my guys were just on it, and Barcelona wasn't. I think Maria... and I'll highlight him here in a minute. Maria got the scoring started. They equalized, and then Helio scored his brace of goals, and they just essentially gave up after that. Now, after this match, Helio went out. It was this match or the next Supercopa match that was Helio went out. Now, Helio's a Spanish citizen now. I got the notification, and one of the reasons he became a Spanish citizen was because he thought he'd get a better chance playing internationally for Spain than he would for Brazil, which when you look at the numbers and the quality of players, kind of makes sense. But he's playing international ball for Brazil right at the moment. It's one of the South American competitions going on. I don't think it's the Copa Libertadores. It's something else. And about the same time that happened, I got a notification that, hey, Robert Maria is tearing it up in the under-19s. He is the youth striker I brought on last season. Fairly ambitious. He's now 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. He's improving by leaps and bounds. 17 years old. Really good advanced forward. Also plays a decent pressing forward. An okay false 9. I brought him on thinking that in a couple of years he would either be pairing up with Helio or taking over for Helio, because my promise to Helio still stands. So if a team comes in and makes me an offer for him that's at least 80 million euros, I'm going to let him go. So far, I've got a lot of teams looking at him, and a lot of teams on the rumor pages saying, hey, we're going to make an offer for Helio. None of them have made it so far. And until they do, I'm not worried about him leaving. But as a result of Helio leaving, he's had to step up, and he has done a really good job, as you can see down here below. In 3 games in La Liga, he's had 2 goals, 2 assists, and a player of the match. He's had the 1 assist in the Copa del Rey. He had 1 goal and an assist in the Supercopa. And then in the under-21s, the under-19s, he had 30 goals in 20 games. So, and he is doing really, really well for us. I mean, he's definitely Helio-lite. We beat Barcelona, and then we played Real Madrid, and they just thumped us 4-2. Martinez scored, Helio equalized a minute later, and then in the second half, they just turned it on. Valverde scored, Mahmoud equalized, and then Paul Pogba got 2 goals in 7 minutes. It was just... they had 22 shots, 9 on target. We had 10 and 8. This was the game Ronnie Harold got injured in. He was out 4 to 6 weeks with a torn thigh muscle. It's the Supercopa. I'm not even quite sure what the Supercopa is from what I'm looking at. It's like the top 4 teams in La Liga play the Supercopa, so it's an extra piece of, silverware. But there's no money involved or anything like that. It's bragging rights more than anything else. So, as if, winning in the Liga or finishing top 4 in the Liga wasn't bragging rights enough. Hey, we're going to have a televised competition. We'll get more money that way. So we were then away at Villarreal and we lost 1-0. This was a hard game to watch. They had 24 shots, 12 on target rather. We had 9 and 7. And we were just never really in the game. Vincente scored in the 15th minute, and it was just all kind of downhill from there from us. The only person who had a good game was Van Berkel. That's because he only let 1 shot in. It was player of the match worthy. Sorry, I had my wife call me there for a minute. And I watched this on extended highlights too. That was the killer. I mean, everything was Villarreal. We had a couple of chances, but they really didn't amount to much. We bounced back against Valencia, beating them 5-2. Maria, a brace of goals. Cordonovas, a brace of goals. Lamatre, a brace of goals. Diane had a really solid match, 6 key passes. Maria this was his player of the match game. He really just surprised a lot of people, I think. Everybody had a solid game. And Valencia is a decent squad. They're currently in 7th place. They're fighting for European football. So the fact we beat them 5-2 says something about our team. Copa Del Rey 3rd round, we played Ponferradina. They were actually in our group, if I remember correctly, when we started out. Charles Ely Mathis had a goal. Pedrak had a brace of goals, one of which came in extra time. The game wasn't as close as it looks, really. We had 19 shots, 9 on target, a decent possession advantage. They had 11 shots and 3. And after Ely scored, they just kind of sat back. The Choquet goal came on a set piece, if I remember correctly. It's a couple days later from when I actually played this. It was a solid match for us. And then against Getafe, who are also fighting for European football, we drew with them. John Lucas had a goal in the 15th minute. We equalized in the 80th minute. We should have gotten more from this game. We had more shots, more on target, but Lucero was pretty solid between the sticks. And we just made a lot of stupid, silly mistakes. Passes that didn't go exactly where they needed to go. Ill-advised shots. I think it's getting to the point where the guys are really tired. I mean, I've been rotating them out in certain areas and certain positions, but I think it's finally catching up to us in some areas. And I'm hoping it doesn't catch up to us today because we're playing Granada in our Copa del Rey 4th round match, and then we're going to play Real Madrid. So I am going to set my best 11, check the reserves, and we're going to come back for that match in just a bit. Well, we are playing Granada today in the Copa del Rey 4th round, and we're playing our 4-2-4, of course. We got Van Berkel in goal, Mahmoud, Sirac, Gilbert, and De La Vabora as the defensive back 4, Dianet and Alonso as the midfielders, Mathis and Lamatre as the attack midfielders, Maria and Smilkovic up top as the strikers. De La Vabora on the throw-in to Lamatre. He gets by the one defender, holds it up, crosses it in, and Smilkovic is there and puts it away 3 minutes into the game. That is a good start, fellas. Well done. Check something here real quick while you're all watching the highlights. Okay, you may not have seen or heard all the highlights there. The washing machine upstairs kicked on and I was fixing my filter and I may have accidentally talked over it. Lamatre, wow, he scored that. How on earth did that happen? I'm not complaining if that was either a horrible mistake by the Granada keeper or, I don't know, De La Vabora with the cross, Lamatre all alone, top right of the box. Not the hardest shot. The keeper got a hand on it, but it didn't look like he was out of position or anything like that. Alonso, the free kick from outside the box. Oh, stopped, and Smilkovic gets it and puts it away. Was he offsides? Yes, he was. I swear that happens once an episode now. It seems like it happens once an episode. De La Vabora to Alonso just before the half. Can we get a late half goal? Maria, and he scores. Nice. Now I've got West Side Story going on in my head. Another clue as to how old I am. Well, Bernstein did write some great music for that. Nice header by Maria. And we are completely in control here. 3-0 up at the half. 8 shots, 5 on target. They're 6 and 3. We are going to tell the boys we're very happy. Keep it going. I don't think we'll come off the attack. We'll keep our foot on their neck and see what happens. And we're going to give it away. Kovac to Juan. To Diego. All the way out to Buigas. He taps up to Lukic. Lukic drives forward, gets by Mahmoud, who recovers, gets back in front of him, dispossesses him, but it goes right to Buigas. Gomez is there, and they score. And it's disallowed because he's offsides. Okay, it happened to them too. I am a happy, happy FMer. Lukic, back to Diego. Gilbert intercepts that pass. He gives it up to Lemaitre. Smilkovic got between the defenders. He's got help. Maria off the post. Oh, Smilkovic did the right thing, and Maria could not follow up on it. Part of me says I should be mad, but the other part of me says Smilkovic passed it instead of kicking it right at the keeper. I can't be mad at that. We're going to get Dale Vobora off and bring on Aguirre. And we're also going to take off Dianet and bring on Singshire. Singshire. No, it's Singshire. Marquez to Diego. Back to Marquez. To Diego. To Marquez. Challenged. He sends it all the way back to Kuroshvili. He bangs it forward towards Gomez. Gomez heads it forward, but no one from Granada to pick it up. Gilbert to Mathis. Up to Maria. He cuts outside, and he's dispossessed by Diego. Lukic to Diego. Centers it to Kovac. Back to Lukic. Diego. Oh, he gives it away, but Sarek heads it right down for no one on a high jersey to get it. Kitagenda sends it over to Diliberto. Lemaitre totally bosses the Granada player. Takes the shot near post past the... Wow. That was a strike and a half. Juan's on the ball, and Lemaitre just takes it from him. Driving forward, in the rain, in the box. Oh, the Granada keeper should have done a better job with that. I was going to take him off, but he's a goal away from a hat trick, so we'll leave him on. However, we'll go down to the balanced. And that was a very nice 4-0 win for us. 17 shots, 8 on target to their 10-4. Lemaitre, a brace of goals, a 9.4 rating. Maria a goal, Smilkovic a goal. Everybody had a good, solid performance. And now we've got Madrid coming up in 3 days. Lemaitre was stellar. He also had an assist. So Helio's on international duty. He has the 80 million. We agreed on the 80 million release clause fee. The kicker is I'm not putting him out there. If a team wants him, they're going to have to come to me and make an offer. You know, and so far he's been, as my daughter would say, very chill about the whole thing. And we're playing Barcelona in the 5th round of the Copa Del Rey. Of course we are. So we've got Real Madrid coming up. I'm going to go, we'll advance to that game tomorrow. Set my best available 11, check the reserves, and we're going to be back with that match in just a bit. You know what we're going to do? We're going to skip the Madrid game and come back for Barcelona in the Copa del Rey. Because then we're playing Barcelona again. We're playing them back-to-back again in as many months. Plus the transfer window is going to end after the Real Madrid game. I don't think we're going to be doing anything else. So we're going to come back for the Barcelona game of the Copa del Rey, and then the next episode is going to be home and away, or away and home as it is, against Nantes in the Europa League. So I'm going to play this Madrid game, and we're going to be back with Barcelona in just a bit. And I need to remember to breathe. No, the good news is I don't have to scroll down anymore to find our place on the payroll budget. We're up to 650,000 euros a week. Barcelona's up to 6.25 million euros a week. So transfer window's passed. The only thing we've done is we sent out Robert Fernandez, who's my young defensive midfielder right back, defensive center back, out on loan. He just wasn't getting a lot of playing time here. There were a couple offers for him, and I was like, yeah, you know, if you're going to get full-time playing time at another club, go for it. And he is down at Real Sporting. Réal is on the B squad. I don't need to sign him. Okay. Bonnet should be on the Europa League squad. If he's not, I'm going to be really, really upset with myself. because leaving him off the squad would be a very FM thing to do. So I still need to get to the Madrid game. We're going to come back with that in just a bit. No, Barcelona, Madrid, one of the two. Barcelona, Copa del Rey, 5th round. Jellico. Helio's back from international duty, so he's getting the start today. We got Van Berkel in goal, Mahmoud, Sirac, Gilbert, and De La Vabora as the defensive back four. Diana and Alonso as the midfielders. Mathis and Lemaitre as the attacking midfielders. Helio and Maria up top as the strikers. Okay, I'm playing a 4-4-2. Doesn't look like they're... Well, okay. Quentin Le Guin. Yeah, we've taken a look at him before. That's what we're up against. Good match, no injuries. I'll be happy. De La Vabora on a throw-in to Maria, dispossessed. Segovia. Over to Kessie, to Florentino, up to Le Guin, who got between the defenders. Takes a shot, Van Berkel blocks it, and Sirac just bombs it into the crowd. Corner kick for Barcelona, Pedrinho. Gilbert knocks it away. Florentino's going to run it down. Tap it back over to Pedrinho. He sends it in again. Kolarov, but he's dispossessed by De La Vabora, who kicks the ball out of bounds. Diallo on the throw-in for Barcelona. Gilbert knocks it away. Florentino runs the ball down to Kessie. Back to Florentino, to Kessie. All the way out to Diallo, alone on the left. He drives in. Segovia, back out to Diallo. De La Vabora, oh, he tried an outswinger, but it went right to Van Berkel. Up to Mathis. Nice first touch from the winger. He cuts inside. Up to Maria, who got between the defenders. Puts it past the Barcelona keeper for a goal. Well done. That was a good assist by Mathis, too. Let's watch this in the 3D. Nice first touch by the Frenchman. Cuts inside. Left pegs it. Maria never stopped running. Used his left foot himself. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if he's good on the left foot or the right foot or what. He's weak on the left foot, but that was a pretty powerful shot there. De La Vabora on the throw-in. Lemaitre. Back to De La Vabora. He gets by the one defender. Cuts it out. Crosses it in. Lemaitre in the box. Villanueva blocks it in the crowd, and Villanueva picks it up. That was a very nice save by the Barcelona keeper. Kimmich on the throw-in. Le Guin. Back to Kimmich. Over to Kessie. He centers it in. Kolarov is there, but it's knocked away. Florentino, Le Guin. Oh, Van Berkel got a hand on it, and it wasn't enough. Le Guin put it far post in. Let's see. Fiorentino to Le Guin. Yeah, Van Berkel. Almost. Horseshoes, hand grenades, hydrogen bombs, some spray on deodorants. Almost. They've had 6 shots, 6 on target. We've had 8 and 4, but they're definitely in a game and they know it. The halftime talk went surprisingly well. Kimmich on the throw-in. Le Guin centers it in. Pedrinho's there and he puts it far post. That was nice. Somebody screwed up when they tried making the interception. Pedrinho sends it in. Knocked away. Karasek. I really don't want to see the highlight again, so we are going to do some tactics. De La Vabora is going to come off. Peter Hoffman's going to come on. Joubert is going to come off. And actually, Aguirre is going to come on, and I'm going to switch Hoffman and Aguirre. So, Hoffman is my young defensive center back who I actually had to leave off the Europa League roster in order to get Maria on. De La Vabora gets by the one defender. Lemaitre is dispossessed by Kessie, but he gets the ball back. He gives it over to Alonso. Alonso sends it in. Kimmich knocks it away. Florentino over to Segovia. Long pass for Kolarov. Kolarov driving forward. Holds it up. Crosses it in. Joubert has it to Van Berkel. That was Interesting. Van Berkel all the way up to Lemaitre, who cuts inside. Cuts across the center of the field. Up to Mathis. Gets by the defender. Baseline. Tries crossing it back, but no go. Sirac is going to run that down. The highlight's going to end. Corner kick. Lemaitre in the crowd. Knocked away. Kimmich all the way up to Kolarov. Cuts right. He's being shadowed, but not closely. Holds it up. Over to Kimmich. Florentino. Pedrino. Dispossessed. Fouled. Maybe. Damn it. Kessie's usually 50-50 when it comes to penalty kicks. At least he was for me when I had him on Milan. God, his eyes follow you no matter how big the picture is. I really don't want to see this again. Nah, it's just freaky. Aguirre. Alonso back to Aguirre. Sends it in. Helio was there, but Villanueva stepped in front of him. Segovia to Kimmich. Back to Florentino. Over to Segovia. Out to Kimmich. Drives forward. Gives it away to Lemaitre. Alonso. Long pass towards Helio. Got by his defender. One-on-one with the keeper. Gets it. Oh. I've been trying to train around the keeper, and it hasn't been working. Pedrino up to Le Guin. And his shot is blocked by Van Berkel. Well done. They've had 11 shots, 11 on target. Oh, they finally missed an on-target shot. Now, Helio is gassed because he's coming back from international duty. So we're going to bring Smokovic on for him and swap places with Maria. My boys can't make up their mind. Are they frustrated? Are they anxious? Are they motivated? Kessie is dispossessed. Maria gives it away, though. Mahmoud ends up with the ball. He drives forward, and he's dispossessed by Segovia. Sirac takes his own sweet time getting there. He sends it all the way back. Van Berkel gives it away to Le Guin. Le Guin cuts right in the box. Dispossessed. Ball's up into space. Hall is going to run it down. Kessie over to Segovia. Up to Le Guin. It's Cordoba, and it was a weak shot. Cordoba didn't get enough power on it to blow up by Van Berkel. Doesn't matter, though. We're still going to lose 4-1. This is frustrating. It's going to be a while before we're beating them on a regular basis. We can get the occasional surprise every once in a while, but they just have too many players of quality. I've been reading this a lot this season. Youthful Real High-End come unstuck. So we are going to come back for the Europa League match. And then probably like Alava City and then Zaragoza as the last game of the season. So far, we're doing okay in La Liga. 17 games or 23 matches played. We are currently in 6th place. I think we can fight our way back up into 4th. It's not out of the realm of possibility. As long as we get European football, I'm happy. And we should, because there's a decent gap between us and Levante in 8th. So on our 23 matches played, our 40 goal scorer, 4th highest. Our 29 goals allowed, our 10th best. We're first in yellow cards. Go us. Helio, 17 goals and 7.4 in rating. David Del Bavor, 9 assists. Helio, 6 players of the match awards. A lot of guys with 8 yellow cards. Del Bavor, the 1 red card. We got 82 million euros in the bank. Oh, hey, they're finally letting. We got our upgraded youth facilities, and they just let me build. They just agreed to upgrade the training facilities. So, baby steps. We're getting there. 9 million euros in the bank for the transfer budget. I don't think we're going to spend all of that. Not unless there's a player who crops up at the end of the season and just near the end of the season that I absolutely must have. And so far, I'm not seeing any of that. I mean, Castilla or Fernandez at Real Madrid Castilla is nice, but I'm not paying him. He's probably going to want 40,000 euros. Plus, he plays center. He plays advanced midfield, or he's a striker. I've got 3 good strikers already. So, a couple of. Well, the Granada match was nice, but Granada's League 2 team. So it was challenging, but it wasn't much of a challenge, if that makes sense. Losing to Madrid was kind of expected. Losing to Barcelona was kind of expected. What did the board want us to do? Copa Del Rey, 4th round minimum. We reached the 5th, so they're happy with that. They can't complain about that. So European qualification is the goal this season. Champions League football would be nice, and I think we can definitely do that. If you did like what you seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. My name is FM20. I thank you for watching.